there was another moment when I had got shot. Two people came running up with guns, right? And I'm already like healing from like shot. Like I can't close this hand, right? Because like I got shot through my hand. Like somebody, I was sitting in a car. I look last minute at the mirror. Someone like puts a gun in my head, and I like instantly in a split second, like I grab it, pull it off, and the gun discharges in my hand. The As the gun discharges in my hand, like the bullet doesn't spit out, right? It was like, so the bullet didn't spit out. So when they pull it away and they try to keep finishing me off, it jams, you know? And so boom, that was already like, I could say quick instincts, right? I got some quick instinct. I was fast, you know, and the bullet jammed. It was, you know, luck and chance or whatever. I didn't die. Okay, good. A couple months later, like what, 2, 3 months later, I'm like still in my neighborhood. I'm just hanging outside, and two guys run up now, and both of them got guns. I'm sitting on the stairs. When the first guy shoots, like, so I felt it, all this crushed, like all my bones crushed. They took a bone out of my hip to put it in my hand to not lose my fingers, because the bones just crushed. The bullet literally crushed all the bones, the ligaments, everything. So to save this finger, they put my hip bone in here. I know what that felt like. I got shot in my foot, and like the very first guy starts shooting, I get shot in my foot. When I get up, I can't put no pressure on my foot. Like I've like, damn, my foot felt just crushed. And I fall off from the top of the stairs. I hit the ground with this hand, re-break my fingers, laid out on the floor. And I remember I called out to my friend that was there. I was like, you know, I yelled his name so he can pick me up and like pull me away. And I just see his feet run off. And I was like, God, like I was just like left there for dead. And it happened like so quick, like so quick in an instant that like I had this thought that I was just like, why did I yell out to my friend? You know, he can't save me. The other guy's like standing over me with a gun, and like mind you, I couldn't walk. And when the other guy's standing over me, now he's like shooting directly over me. Nothing's hitting me. Either he had blanks, you know, or just for whatever reason, nothing like hit me. He's standing right over me. At the time that he's shooting, I say it in my mind, it was the funniest prayer, because I said, literally, I said, fuck it, God. If you can get me out of here, get me out of this. And like instantly I just knew, like it was just like, get up, you know? And when I'm like, okay, so I stand up and now I'm walking off. And like normally I've been shot at like many times. And anytime I'm against, especially close range, I'm zigging and zagging because, you know, it's hard to hit a moving target. But I didn't. Like this time I was just walking. I'm more looking at my foot. I'm like, I couldn't just walk on this foot. Like, what is happening, you know? And I just like walking, and now the other guy's like trying to shoot at me, and everything's just hitting the wall and but I'm not zigging or zagging, and like I felt so just covered, and so like I just walked off, right? All my friends, all the people that were in this neighborhood that like I had laid my life on the line for, I did so many things for, everyone leaves, everyone takes off, you know? I even like suspected like some of the people had something to do with it. And it was like a moment of like realization that I was like, well, why would I ever call out to anybody else? You know, like it was like I couldn't explain it. You know, there's like stories I don't even talk about, but like it was more of a knowing. You know, and it was like God was just like, why would you like? You know, since you were a kid, I'm the only one that's ever had you. You know, and like I knew it, and I walked to the hospital. When I get to the hospital, I just walk in. It was a Friday the 13th in October, and so much things was happening. Like there was people, like there was so much, like things happened in the hospital that they didn't even have room for beds. They had people in the hallway. People were stabbed. People were like, there's just a lot going on that night. And I see my friend that ran and left me there, you know, and like where I grew up, you know, like if I would have just told people that he left me, like he probably wouldn't have been able to come back, right? They would have looked at him a certain kind of way. He sees me, he looks at me like he saw a ghost. He's like, he thought I was just dead. Like I walk in there, and when I see him, I told him like, I'm not even mad at you. Like you couldn't save me. Like it wasn't, you right? Like I was like, it was my fault for calling out to you. You're good, you know? I just walk myself straight into the hospital like that. I just throw myself on there. I'm like, doc, I need an x-ray. They're like, have you been here before? Like, who is this? I was just so calm. And so like, I was like, I need an x-ray on my foot, you know, like something like, let's speed this up, you know, call my mom, get my mom on the phone. They call my mom like comes, she's like frantic, you know, like she doesn't know, she just heard like I'm shot again. She walks into the hospital, she comes, when I look at her, like we just both like look at each other and we just like kind of laugh. Like, I don't even know why. I was just like, I'm looking at her, I'm just like smiling. She just kind of laughed. I'm like, Mom, it's good. Like, don't even worry. Like, I'm like, your God's real, you know? Like, your God is real. Like,
Wow.
and so we're waiting on the x-rays. And the x-ray come out and the doctor's just like sitting there like perplexed. Like he's just looking at the x-ray and he's just like trying to study it. And he's like, it's just my foot. And I'm looking at it because I've spent so many months looking at x-rays of my hand. I'm looking at it and I'm like, there's nothing broken in there. Like nothing looks like messed up. And he's like, he's looking at my foot again because there's an entry and there's an exit wound, right? And so, and he's looking at the thing and he's like, and I told him, I was like, it's a miracle, huh? And he's like, huh? And he's like, no, wait. And he's just like making sound like, I was like, I'm not a doctor, but nothing in there looks like broken to me or like this. I was like, I think it's a miracle, huh, doctor? And he's like, you know, like doctors don't want to necessarily believe in miracles, you know? And he's like, no, I didn't say that. I was like, well, explain it to us. Like, what do you see? He goes, the best explanation I got for you is that the bullet entered, the bullet disappeared, and then the bullet exited. Because there's no ligaments torn, there's no bones broken, there's nothing. There's just an entry and exit.
Let your light shine. Help others find their way out of the darkness. Extraordinarily inspiring stories from ordinary people like you and I. Let your light shine.